back to episode 15 of Horror Tuesday. I'm your host, Nadia, and I'm so happy for you guys to be here with me today. Today, we've got some really fun topics to talk about in the horror genre. But before we get into that, please hit that like and subscribe button. I am on the road to 500 subs by Halloween, so every little bit helps to get me there to that goal. Couple other things. Starting on the 27th of September at 8 p.m. Eastern, I have a great panel we'll be breaking down from season 3 weekly. We'll be deep diving into those episodes. Coming October 3rd, I also will be having a live stream discussing the new Salem's Lot movie that will be dropping that day on HBO Max. I'm also breaking down Agatha All Along. So weekly, you'll see videos dropping on this channel, breaking down each episode, my thoughts on it. I'll even tag the first one I did in the description below. Also look out this week. I'll be dropping my 10 Halloween movie recommendations. They range from kid-friendly to all ages to not kid-friendly. So be on the lookout for that. And lastly, go ahead and check out my Substance review. I went to go see it over the weekend. Spoilers, it's really good. I recommend you go see it. The first half of the review will be non-spoilers. Second half will be spoilers. So go ahead and check that out. Leave me comments on everything. Everything helps. I really appreciate everybody that's been very supportive on my journey here. Okay, so a couple fun topics we're going to get into today. The first one is the Babadook's director has a new series in works. I'm intrigued. I read this interview and it's on Variety. Let me pull this up. The interview mostly breaks into the discussion about the Babadook because it's 10 years anniversary this year. What the director remembers from it. It's actually a very good interview. I recommend reading into it. But what caught my attention was one of the last few things that were said about it was, where is it? It's all the way to the bottom. And it's really short. It's like, I don't mean to lead thinking we're going to get like a trailer or stills or description of it. It's very short. So sorry if I misled some people on this one. You're developing a new supernatural horror series. What can you share about the project? It's set in Ireland in the 1700s. It deals with Irish folklore, which I'm game for. I love folklore and mythology. I'm working with a fellow writer on it. It's a 6-part one-off series. Sounds great to me. I hate when they announce like there's a multiple season series, because like one-off series, if you can tell the story in a complete 8 episodes from start to finish, fantastic. Irish myth and folklore, you think it's dancing leprechauns, but in actuality, a lot of mythology is frightening. Case in point, I did a review a couple weeks back early on in building this channel on The Watchers. While the movie's third act was a little bit of a letdown, the concept was really cool, and a lot of mythology, a lot of folklore, it is scary. Like, there's a lot of horror. If you actually go back, even read the original Grimm fairy tales, it's not so nice of like Cinderella losing her shoe and kind of stuff. There's some really dark, twisted things in there. And you gotta understand, a lot of folklore and mythology was used to deter children from doing certain things, right? Like, oh, if you don't, I don't know, tie your shoe a certain way, the Babadook's gonna come get you at night. Something similar to that, if you understand what I'm going with. But I'm excited because I really liked the Babadook. I thought it was a very interesting concept of taking grief and utilizing that as with a monster story in a sense. I don't want to spoil it. It has turned 10 years old, but if it's one of those movies that you haven't seen, it's kind of been on your TBR to watch. TBR is to read. You get what I mean. If you have it on your list to watch, you have it, go ahead and check it out. It's really a good ride. I would watch something a little bit happier afterwards. But it's very good. And also, FYI, if you haven't seen it, if you do go read this article, there are spoilers for the Babadook in this article as well. So check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Did you like the Babadook as well? I'd be interested to hear. All right. On that note, next thing, PLL is canceled. What is PPL? Let me tell you, Pretty Little Liars. Pretty Little Liars. Pretty Little Liars was an original series. I think it went for like 8 or 9 seasons. I actually watched all of the original. Then it was rebooted on Max to have a little bit more of adult theme, even though the original was a little bit more adult than needed, even though it was directed to, I think it was kind of directed towards teenagers. I don't know. Anyway, I've seen a little bit of the reboot. It's not the best. It's like a guilty pleasure show, reality TV show. You want to watch something that you really, might kill a couple brain cells, but it's hard to look away. Kind of like a car crash. Anyway, Max Slasher series brought to you by Bloody Disgusting. Pretty Little Liars canceled after 2 seasons. I am not surprised whatsoever. The slasher theme relaunched the series Pretty Little Liars. Began with Pretty Little Liars Original Sin back in 2022. It followed by a new story, Pretty Little Liars Summer School, earlier this year. Unfortunately, the slasher spinoff has been canceled. If the slasher spinoff has been canceled, I'm not going to be surprised if the summer school one. It's not that good, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not that good. I really liked the original for the first couple of seasons. Afterwards, it got a little bit repetitive of how the story kind of flowed. Think Riverdale, like they're saying here. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I did like. I liked the comic, and I did like the first season and half the second one, and then it kind of just fell off there. But yeah, I am not surprised because the co-creators are Roberto, and I'm going to mess up his name, Sarcasa, I think. I'm sorry, but anything this guy has tied to is really Riverdale, Chilling Adventures, and now this. I don't think it's really well written or thought out of. If you've watched Riverdale in the last couple of seasons, I think they were just throwing things at the wall to just see what would stick. Just like, hey, let's see if we give them superpowers, or like we'll have a serial killer, or I don't know, we'll do time travel. So I think while it's a unique idea for all of these series, I don't think they actually fully think them through. So goodbye, Pretty Little Liars. I am sorry that it got canceled for those of people that work on it, but maybe you need to tell your co-creators or your producers and showrunners, put something creative that works for people to watch. I don't know. I'm not a showrunner. I don't know the stress of it. I don't understand. But I know when I see a show that's just not fully thought out of through, there's no maybe show Bible in a sense for it. And this one I have a feeling didn't have it. So watch the original. Watch the first 4 seasons if you're looking for kind of a drama, a teen drama, a little bit more adult than the CW stuff. Don't bother with these on Max. That's my 2 cents. But if by chance somebody's watching this and likes this, I really honestly want to know why. What appeals to you on it? So, all right. Next is Mr. Crocket trailer. Crocket. I saw this being discussed, and I have not watched the trailer because I am waiting to watch it with you guys. So, Hulu is bringing a horror film about a kids' TV show. Come to Hulu in October. So, what it is about? Where is it? In 1993, a mysterious children's show host, Mr. Crocket, I believe, magical emerges from the television set to kidnap young children, brutally slaying their parents in the process. After Mr. Crocket snatches her son, one determined mom embarks on a perilous I can't speak English for save my life. Quest to track down the demonic entertainer and rescue her boy. All right. Wait, I thought there was a trailer for this on this. Oh, right here. I was like, wait a minute. I'm reading this. I knew there was a trailer. All right. Let's check it out.
Son, check this out. I got something for you.
Welcome to Mr. Crockett's world. A friend like you is a friend like me. Whenever you're
That's creepy.
He must be watching us. He's killing parents and taking more kids.
Go on, my child. This is my house now.
Take deep breaths.
Creepy. Woo! I'm in. I think Hulu sometimes does really good indie horror movies. They do this, I think, the last couple of Octobers where they've had indie stories and movies, sometimes with like some celebrities you might know of. But they've got a couple really good ones. I'm in. This looks like something I will definitely be doing a review on. I love when there's, like, I don't know, chaos and not chaos, but I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Like, it almost gives a little bit of a true crime element to it. A little bit. Like, I like mysteries of monsters and beings that you really, I hope they don't tell the full background story. Leave a little bit to the imagination. I'm totally in. I'm game. I am totally in. All right. Moving on, we have now Terrifier 3 will be out in theaters, I believe, October 11th. We discussed the popcorn bucket and the new poster in the previous episode of Horror Tuesday. We've got Terrifier 4 news already before this movie even hits theaters. So so they did confirm, and this is from Bloody discussing it again. Says that he's definitely planning on bringing Art the Clown back for more. I think he also got a update to the latest Call of Duty movie as well. I said duty. You know what I mean. Anyway, one of the most popular new horror icons for the modern era, Art the Clown, returns to the big screen on October 11th and said that this isn't an official announcement. Okay. For Terrifier 4, to be clear, but we figured fans of the franchise would be excited to hear that Leone, I think it's Leone, definitely plans on making another installment. This is so interesting to me because let's go back to the beginning timeline of Terrifier, which started as shorts, like short movies made on barely anything to get that. Then we get Terrifier, the movie, right? The first one. Again, very small budget, a lot of effects into it, big following starts to happen. Terrifier 2 takes it over the top, bigger budget, studios are starting to notice it. And now we have the third one, which is going to have the biggest budget in the franchise, which already people have been talking about there. It's even way more over the top with the effects and the gore. And now we're talking about the fourth. So it's interesting to me that where this started and where it's going, that it's going in a sense to be its own horror franchise, similar to Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream. And especially since, like, honestly, if you watch the original, like the first one, I didn't really like it. It was just not enough story for me, just too much directed with just gore. Second one, the first half, I was like, still like, okay, I get it. More gore. And then but the second half of the second one told a little bit more story, was a little bit more story driven, and it locked me in. So I'm like, now I want to know more about Art, more about the survivors, what's going to be the new final girl, how does it come back. So I am totally in, and especially now this is going to be taking place around Christmas. Is the next one going to be around Easter themed? I don't know. I'm just saying this is fun, and you should not take it so seriously, and I will definitely be interested. The third one, though, is set in Christmas, and I just saw it. Santa Claus makeup effects legend Tom Savini, Jason Patrick. Wow, they got Savini to appear. I'm not surprised by that, but Savini's the godfather of special effects. FYI, just That's, to me, that's what he's known as. I've met the guy. It's one of the reasons I have a special effects career is because of a lot of the movies, and he would write books on how to do this stuff and really, take stuff around your house and be able to make zombies. So I get it. I'm in to see how this franchise is just going to continue to evolve. And are we going to get just Art the Clown stories? Or are we going to get more stories around the other victims but characters? You know what I mean? Anyway, so that is Art the Clown. Terrifier 4 news. Are you going to see it in theaters? I'm going to go see it in theaters. I already have my movie going buddy for it. So I'm very excited to go check it out in theaters. I know everybody's like, it was really funny to me. Funny story related to it. So the first one, I was like, I don't want to watch it, but everybody's like, wait till you get to that scene. That scene. I don't know if anybody can hear the boop boop. That's my dog in the background going boop boop. She's sleeping. Anyway, they nobody's seen Bone Tomahawk beforehand. And then the second one, everyone's like, oh, we can get to the bedrooms. Thing. Very gory, very cool. But you have to understand where my mind goes. Well, some of this stuff is really cool to look at and the gore, and everybody's like, ugh. I go, wonder how they used that. That's an interesting color of blood they decided. Like even in The Substance, which has a lot of body horror. How did they do that? I think I have an idea of how they did that. So my brain doesn't go to like maybe I'm just desensitized so much, but my brain doesn't go, oh, that's I mean, it's not but I'm like, oh, okay, probably it's a facial prosthetic that they were able to rig. Anyway, that being said, don't send me your recommendations for the most gory film. I don't like body horror, and I probably have seen it or seen descriptions of it. Not a Cronenberg fan. But that being said, are you checking out 3 in theaters? Do you have your tickets already? Do you have your popcorn bucket ordered already? Let me know. Comments below. Okay, moving on. VHS Beyond. As some of you know, I worked on the second VHS, which was really cool experience. And at the time when I worked on it, I did not know what it was for until I actually saw my name in the credits when I watched it. So, it's already getting a lot of praise from what I've seen. This is a really short article from Dread Central. And it's supposed to be like one of the most goriest, but there's like a interesting storytelling. And it's all from aliens, cosmic beings, nightmares. Think of that. Skydiving trip from hell, which I'm very intrigued to see. I really don't like found footage horror, but I would make an exception to see this because of how much praise it's gotten. With every entry, the VHS franchise just gets better and better, and after its world premiere at the 2024 Fantastic Fest, VHS Beyond only further proves the point with a rip-roaring science fiction roller coaster that flips through stories of aliens, which you know how I feel about that, mad scientists, and cosmic nightmares. I would be intrigued, and I believe, can't remember what is. I think it's Katie Siegel. Yeah, Mike Flanagan's wife has a debut of her directing debut in one of these segments, so I'm curious to see that as well. So, I'm in. It's going to be, I believe, on Shudder, a release on Shudder in October. Maybe we could do a watch party or something. I don't know. But this is pretty creepy look to it. And I don't like aliens, so it's going to be pretty creepy for me to experience. That is for sure. Okay. Next up is James Wan's Teacup. Now, a lot of people say that James Wan is the new kind of quote-unquote masters of horror. Maybe. I know Saw. I didn't like Malignant very much. I know sometimes when he puts his name on stuff, people are like, ooh, this is going to be good. This is a new series that's coming out that he produced called Teacup. It's a adaptation of a 1988 bestseller Stinger. Set to premiere October 10th. Last month, we got a look at the quick teaser trailer for the show, and now a full trailer has arrived online, along with some poster art and a batch of new images. Trailer can be viewed above. So let's check it out. Again, I saved this to watch with you guys. So let's try. Oh, it's a peacock thing. Or maybe this is it. Oh, this is it. Oh.
Sit beside the
Turn me off.
breakfast table. Think about your trouble.
Okay.
Are the animals still worked up?
Yeah, something got really spooked.
Pour yourself
Ooh.
a cup of tea. Think about the bubble.
It's a tempest in a teacup.
What's a tempest?
It's a really big storm.
You can take your teardrops and drop them in a teacup.
You okay?
Nothing I can't handle.
Take them down to the riverside.
Where are you, Mr. Go?
At first, I thought it was some sort of commercial for Peacock, because that's how it kind of played a little bit. And now then the music changed. All right, let's go. Ooh. That's weird. The singing kind of gave me a little bit of a chill.
Oh my god.
What happened?
What is going on? What is this? Oh man, don't tell me this is gonna be aliens again.
He says we're trapped.
Who says?
The man in my head.
Tell us what all this is right now!
We need to hide.
Why?
Because it's coming. And it kills everything that gets in its way.
You can take your teardrops, drop them in a teacup.
This is an
We
interesting.
can't trust each other. We stay alert, watch each other. We're terrified.
Terrifier is a pretty good place to start.
You can take your teardrops and drop them in a teacup. Take them down to the
Interesting.
riverside.
Well, I'll tell you, this looks better than the Wolfman 2025. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, I hate basements. I grew up with basements. Basements are always creepy. Oh, I'm in. Suffer for the art. Suffer for the art. Looks good. It looks good. I don't know if it'll hold up to what it is, but hey, I'm willing to always give a series at least 3 episodes to check out and see if I like it. Except for Rings of Power. Sorry. That was 1.5 and that was really boring. All right, moving on. Ready or Not 2? Sure. Why not? Let's pull that up. If you have not seen Ready or Not, please turn off my video right now and go watch it. It's enjoyable. It's fun. I have nothing but good things to say about it. I feel that this year's Annabelle, Agabelle, whatever, the vampire one, which wasn't that good. Kind of tried to stay in the same vein of it, that kind of quirky kind of horror, and it didn't work. Here, I felt it really worked. It's really good, and Samara, I hope, Weaving is all in for a horror sequel. I don't know how they would go with a sequel for this, but I'm in for it. And she said, with the subject of Ready or Not came up, Weaving told comicbook.com, I'm all in. I think we're all in. I don't know. I think we're all in. I just don't know if we had our blood handshake, but pretty much. We've done the spit handshake, but we haven't cut each other's hand and rubbed our blood together. Well, good. Don't do that. I like So the first one, it's really simple. A young woman who is invited to the night of her wedding by her husband's rich, eccentric family to participate in a time-honored tradition that turns into a lethal game with everyone fighting for their survival. There's more to that. I don't want to spoil it. Again, if this has been on your watch list, go watch it. 'Tis the season for spooky movies, and this one was just a blast. It was so much fun. Go watch it. I'm game for the second one as long as it's a good story that follows up for the first one. I really don't see how they can do a sequel, but I'm not a writer, so we'll see. But again, bloody good time. Bloody good time. Way fun. I would probably watch this every year. It's really, really good. So, what do you think? Do you want a Ready or Not 2? Do you think let's move on to other projects? Did you like the first one? And if you do go watch the second one, let me know what your comments are below. All right. Moving on. Next thing I want to talk about is 28 years later. 28 years later, 28 days later and stuff, was one of my favorite zombie franchises. I like Cillian Murphy a lot. And I guess 28 years later was shot with an Apple iPhone 15. I think I have the 15. Maybe is this the 15? I don't know which one I have, but like I know everybody's talking about this and they're like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna look. Does anybody remember the original and how it was shot? I think it was shot on a camcorder or something. It again, the story completely captured me in, so I was totally in. But if I was going for aesthetics, not the best aesthetically pleasing movie. So, and the sequel was meh. It was all right. But this is interesting that it was a bunch of adapted iPhone 15s, iPhone 15 Pro Maxes to be exact. The fact that 28 years later was shot with smartphones despite having a budget of $75 million and thus becoming the biggest movie to date filmed with smartphones seems quite fitting given that 20 days later was one of the first major film features shot with a Canon XL1. So I was wrong. Canon, well, kind of. And a 4000 mini DV camera. So I would be intrigued to see what the trailer will look like on this. This to me is awesome for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons I think it's awesome is for upcoming film directors and kids that want to make their own movies. And when they see a big budget movie like this using an iPhone and all they have available to them is their creativity, an iPhone, and some friends that want to put together a movie, I think this is great. I think this influences the next generation to really think outside the box and don't rely on just studios giving you money for like the most, top. Like, don't think you have to have the most top brand camera to do your short films, especially with access to things like YouTube and other platforms that you can put your short films on. There was, I think it's called Milk and Cereal, which was a film that was shot on barely anything of a budget, and everybody praised it. I haven't seen it, and it's available on YouTube. So to me, this is great. I'm intrigued to see what it will look like with a trailer. But again, I'm happy that this is going to influence the next bunch of horror directors who are like, you know what? I've got an iPhone 15. We can make some fake blood with corn syrup and some food coloring. We got a monster idea. We live by woods or something. Let's go film a short movie. And this is great. I really do hope this influences the next round of people to really think outside of the box. Don't rely on just IP and studios or to really tell you what to do. Just be creative and your fans will follow you. So, all right. And one of the last topics I want to talk about is we got a little bit of Black Mirror news. We've got some casting. So Black Mirror season casted includes Aquafina, I think I'm saying, Emma Corrin, Paul Giamatti, and many more. Now, I know the last season wasn't entirely reserved to, I think a lot of people were mixed on it. I like Black Mirror. I'm a Black Mirror stan. I will watch Black Mirror when it comes out. even the bad stories. And it's interesting as the series has progressed, more big names have started to star in a couple of these little mini episodes. So I'd be intrigued to see what the theme is for this round. It won't be out till 2025. And sidebar, I'm tired of waiting 2 to 3 years in between seasons. I'm looking at you, Stranger Things. I get it. You know, the pandemic happened. A lot of things had to be shut down. Then we had the strike and all that stuff. I understand. But this is not unknown to get a really good season of a show. And then you have to wait a year or two. You have to wait 2 years. Like a year, I understand. Completely understand waiting a year. You've got to go back into pre-production. You got to story out the season. You've got to get people their scripts. You've got to get practices in. You got to get location, costumes. Maybe you have new characters. I completely get that can be done in a year. But the fact that we've had to wait 2 to 3 years for some of these major shows, looking at you, House of Dragon, as well. I don't know how people are gonna, and then they cancel some of these shows. No wonder, like people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter as we progress into streaming and having media so readily available to us. That being said, like 2025, when was the last season 6 of Black Mirror? 6 seasons. 2023. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yes. We're in 2024. And then we got to wait till 2020. 2 years. I had to do math really quick in my head. 2 years for this. Why? Why? Like if you want people to praise your shows and for your studios to see that you're making money on it, why are we waiting so long? Somebody tell me in the comments, why are we waiting 2 to 3 years for a show? Like, does anybody actually really care about the final season of Stranger Things with how long it's been delayed on it? I mean, I'll watch it because I liked the last season. I get it. Like, I'm a hypocrite with that. But realistically, like, anybody who's just a norm, who's like passively watched this stuff, they gonna really care? Is it gonna be as highly praised as the last season or watched? I mean, I don't know. I miss seasons for the season. Seasons for the season. So then when you have like fall season, you had like episodes and then they would take a break, and then you have summer and vice versa. Some shows start in the spring, they take a break, come back in the winter, vice versa. I miss that. And like with how much money is being put into these shows, why isn't this being done within a year? I'm not saying faster. I don't want faster, but I think 2 to 3 years is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the last article I have for today. But I did want to share something with all of you before I sign off. Is my buddy Browser Horror, shout out to him or her, or I don't know, but this individual, who by the way makes fantastic stickers. Go check out their stickers. You will go check them out. Anyway, fall starts today, and he posted there's 12 days till VHS Beyond. We've got 19 days until Terrifier. We've got 26 days till Smile 2, which I'm looking forward to. 33 days until You're a Monster. 39 days until actual Halloween. So get your costumes going. 47 days until Heretic, which I'm excited to see that as well. And 94 days before we get to see Nosferatu on screen. Christmas Day. I will be seated. I don't know about you. But that's a reminder that we've got a lot of great things in horror to come. That doesn't even include the indie stuff that's going to be hitting straight to streaming on Shudder, Hulu, Netflix, series and stuff. So horror, we've got a lot to eat from, guys. We got a lot to eat from. Hope you have a good appetite. On that note, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Horror Tuesday. Again, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. And as always, folks, stay spooky, but keep it creepy.